What's up, everybody? Israel Galeno here. It's that time of year again, Mercury Retrograde 2021. So starting on May 29th, the planet of communication, commerce, and travel moving backwards until June 22nd. So what's going to happen? What's going to go down? This is already happening in the signs of Gemini. So mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces are experiencing the most chaos in this retrograde. Sorry guys. While air signs, Libra, Aquarius will have a much smoother experience. Stay tuned. So, to be truthful here, Mercury doesn't travel backwards in retrograde. Technically, the planet moves closer to the sun, so it moves quicker than the Earth. But because it is in a body of motion where the Earth is usually passing it, think of it like when you pass a car and then it passes you. It always looks like the direction that it's moving is in retrograde versus prograde. So in this direction, it just looks like it seems to be going backwards, which it really isn't. But in the same token, when the planets do get closer and do change around in certain times of the calendar, you are going to see that our systems get affected in all of that craziness. That being said, this massive retrograde, why should we dread it? First of all, if you don't know me, I'm Israel Galindo from Evolve, and this is our channel where we break down your awakening and positive awareness. And if you're just joining it for the first time, hello, and subscribe to our channel. So what are we talking about here? Why should we dread it? Well, a lot of people, when they talk about retrogrades, you always hear it, things are going chaos and everything's going backwards. And they go, oh my God, Mercury retrograde, it's going crazy, it's going crazy. Everything's going backwards, communication breaks down. Think of it like this. Think of it like those times where nobody can really see eye to eye, right? So astrologers from back in the day say that the way the moon and the stars and the planets are aligned, when they shift certain ways with the Earth, each planet has different rules and different aspects of life and connection. Think of it like back in the Greek days, right? The Greek messenger god was named Mercury. It was governing transportation and communication. So when they said that Mercury is in retrograde, pulling away from us opposite direction, there's a miscommunication, there are mistransportation, miscommunication, things go awry. So those who really dread the Mercury retrograde in motion say that when the planet does travel backwards, its power to positively influence us has really shifted to a stifle, craziness, to chaos, if you will. But believers of the malevolent power of Mercury retrograde also blame the phenomena for every argument, every lost luggage, every time you have a communication on your cell phone not working right, or you accidentally send that text, or there's an automobile accident, or you said something you shouldn't have. All of these things are blamed in that retrograde. So when things are going to be chaotic from end of May to the, sort of end of June, we have experiences. So by truth, we do see it. Now, a lot of you are gonna go, you know what, it's a frame of mind. Well, yeah, but when you are having those types of issues a lot, it's probably a good idea to really watch your step very, very, very carefully. This summer's retrograde is going to be a crazy one, because not only is Mercury in retrograde moving backwards through Gemini, again starting Saturday, May 29th, but because Gemini is ruling the planet of Mercury, this retrograde will be more intense than all of the others, especially for those with a heavy Gemini placement in their charts. And if you know what that is, we can put a link here for you. Gemini is an epic flirt, no matter what. Not only does this retrograde set up a signal or return of signal of people's exes, but we might even see sexts sent to the wrong person. Imagine that. You're like, I didn't sext you, but apparently you did because Mercury screwed you up. So this is a time really to make meditation a key for you, to keep that therapy by your side, keep on, looking straight and narrow, and not screwing up any healthy relationships that you currently have. Because, hey, when you're horny and your ex is texting you in your inbox, Mercury retrograde is going to make sure that that connection happens and you screw everything else up in your healthy relationships. Probably a good idea to stay organized and express gratitude for those who truly care about you and for you, by the way. Okay, so for the next few weeks, expect technology glitches. Now it's not the time to upgrade your phone. You know, past connections are going to be coming back to you. Ex texting you at 3 a.m. going, hey, how are you? And you guys know when you get that text, you're going to respond because, you know, we're all human, right? A lot of sort of scheduling mishaps are going to be happening. So it's probably a good idea to not start your summer vacation just set in stone right now. But again, Gemini being one of your Mercury's favorite signs to hang out with, this retrograde should be a little more gentler than others because Mercury in Gemini is about connecting with a ton of people. And Venus is also in Gemini right now, meaning this particular retrograde will bring back a ton of exes. And trust me, I'm one of those people that get a lot of exes getting a hold of me. It's not a good idea for me to respond. So I'm just saying. Anyways, try to stay open-minded during the retrograde. If you're revisiting past relationships, projects, or even jobs for a reason, maybe be very leery about those connections. It might be something in passing, something that you don't want to set in stone right now. And also make a decision before you really move forward on anything. You know, really watch your steps and really understand that, is this something that I need in my life now or something that's not really needed? You know, but Mercury retrograde does put a life in a statue of flux. So this is absolutely not the time to DTR, begin new jobs if you can help it. Also, another thing I gotta mention, in fact, Mercury retrograde, I meant to say in retrograde, Mercury retrograde, again being in Gemini, is one of the most impatient, fast-pacing transits. So it's very remarkable, very difficult to think long-term. Slow your roll, stay grounded, and consider making very careful decisions before starting any conversation that you want to do, and avoid unnecessary drama. This is when you just want to stay back, get in your shell, and don't get connected in that drama. And I'm about to stop that music because it was just kind of looping in my ears and it just didn't sound good in the system. Okay, I know Mercury retrograde always gets a bad rap. It always really does. So I'm speaking here from experience. Always people say super scary, but listen, in short, Mercury retrograde occurs 3 or 4 times per year, which is a lot, but it's never totally life ruining. If you blame everything and you blame your, and I hate to say it like this, your sucky life to Mercury retrograde, then you're obviously doing not something right, because you should be learning from these cycles. And, you know, again, we all have our ups, we have our downs, we have our slumps, we have our this or that. It's another cycle going through that's going to hit us to be able to pause and reflect throughout the year, which is fine, right? It's never going to ruin our lives. Is it tough? Of course it is, you know, and also confronting your past, you know, it's always sucky because, you know, whether you have a good relationship, bad relationship, no matter for what, it, you know, coming back with your past is not always a great thing. But hey, necessary work makes you grow. And if you want to move on further and go further in life, you bet you got to pass all of this stuff. So triple check your schedule and try to think before you speak and make it through this retrograde totally unscathed. So now we're going to go into each of your signs, and this is something I wanted to do for you. So let me switch slides here. We're going to start with Aries, the sign of Aries here, and what's going to happen during the retrograde. I'm going to read along here with you and throw your signs out. So the theme of retrograde word for Aries is going to be vomit. Blech. Forget it, Aries. You've lost it. I mean, it sucks. You might as well just hide in a bed somewhere. Don't come out for the next 20, 30 days. So think very carefully before you speak on this one. Spell check all of your important documents and emails. Make sure you triple check that. Make sure that you're also not leaving people on read. You know, people are miscommunicating with you, or you're saying something that people are not understanding and really throwing them for a loop. So be very clear with your words. Some major conversations that are going to be coming up is going to be things that you really have to be very thorough, very patient, and very considerate. You're going to be fine, but in short, be very cautious. Tread on eggshells, walk on eggshells. What's the term again? Anyways, that is for Aries. Now let's talk about Taurus for a second. Taurus, it's time to open up all those letters from your bank that's been stacking up in the corner. Taurus, you're going to pour over your finances, so make sure that you're not overspending and figure out how you can manage your money. The temptation to splurge right now on outfits and things like that, probably not a good idea. Back it up a little bit. Don't spend that money. I get it. You got to resist from buying stuff. I buy so much stuff on a daily basis, and I'm not even a Taurus, but chill out for a little bit on that one. So let's move on to Gemini. Okay, what's up, Gemini? Let's go on here. All right, Mercury's gonna be in your sign, so this go around for the next 3 weeks, you're gonna be attracting a lot of new connections. That's a good thing, but struggling to find the time and enjoy their company is gonna suck because you're gonna be too busy. You're dealing with jobs and relationships and other crap from your past. So if you're able to prompt and be responsible with what you're dealing, you know, kind of push a little bit on the side, maybe some leftover obligations that you can just kind of push on the, you know, on the hay side, totally be able to enjoy the end of the Gemini season, and then you'll be just fine on that one. So let's get over to my sign, Cancer, and this is for me. So this retrograde is lighting up the charts on the 12th house. What does that mean? It's basically linking all of my astrological items together, which governs the complexity of my cycles. So I'm really going to be spot on blowing up by my exes. All my exes come out of the woodwork. And you know what's funny? Because I realized usually around the end of the year and about now, that's when all my exes come out. And they're like, hey, is, all the time. All the time. So my thing is going to be that I don't like confrontation. I want to stay away from the drama, but I get attracted to it. And I'm very sensitive to the drama. So it's probably a good idea that when I'm being engaged by my exes, I just take a step back and just do a light wave and not engage too much. You know, treat this like what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, treat it like a off-the-shoulder cusp and really not engage on anything. And you know what? Before I know it, retrograde's gone and I'll be just fine. So that's for Cancer. Let's get over to a little Leo. What's going on, Leo? It feels like your social life is stuck in a demented game of musical chairs. Lots of tons of he said, she said, text back and forth. You're going to be going back and forth, butting heads with everybody. Good side, bad shit, you name it. It's just going to be bananas with you. Very hectically. You're going to be blaming, they're going to be blaming your squad, your friends, your local circle. So it's time to keep it real with yourself. Who exactly is causing the trouble? Is it you? Is it them? You know what? Your cruise right now is going to be toxic no matter. Friends, family, close relationships. Just back it up a little bit. It's hard to cut people off right now too, so don't blame somebody right now and go, you suck and I hate you. Just back off a little bit. Just, you know, kind of leave it out. But at the same time, also look at close relationships and the ones that you don't really need in your life right now. It's probably a good time to get rid of those duds in your life and open up for new friends in the future. So let's drop into a little Virgo going on. Sup, Virgo? So this Mercury retrograde is going to be a crucial one for you. You just reached a big goal. You're about to reach something really massive. But before you can celebrate that victory, you're going to need to deal with all that work that you're putting off in the meantime. So make sure that you just slayed that big presentation at work. But when your boss calls you on the next day for that 50 stacks of late work on your desk, you're going to feel like a clown because you didn't get it all done. So you better like look at all that past work that you got to get really, really, really moving on. So let's keep that in mind. All right, let's draw some Libra into the mix, which is one of my mom's. First of all, if you have any travel plans for the next month or so, make sure that you're diligent as possible to keep up with your schedule. Arrive on time, triple check everything. Second of all, if you're a student or you're thinking about going to school, you better check all your emails 50 times a day. Miscommunication is going to suck for you right now. Scheduling mishaps and issuing registries for a class, pretty much going to be screwed up. So you might as well just really triple check everything you're doing. to make this retrograde go a little bit smoother than usual. I don't expect too much drama for Libra, so you should be cool with your peeps. All right, let's drop some Scorpios in here. My brother's sign. Stay on top of your bills, Scorpio. Just like Taurus, your chart is on the 8th house, which governs your debt. So it is being lit up by this retrograde. Unexpected bills are going to be coming towards you. Surprise expenses are going to be showing up in your mailbox. So not a good idea to right now be spending money. Just focus on paying your bills. And again, you're not going to be going anyway. You're not a big baller right now. So don't plan on any vacations in the next 20, 30 days. Keep your budget as if you were broke and keep it very, very low and keep an eye on that bank account. That's very, very important for Scorpio. So let's drop to some little Sagittarius. All right, so Sagittarius, this retrograde is directly impacting your relationships. There's going to be so many imbalances, hidden feelings and resentments and jealousy, and even secrets between you and your boo. So certain to come up out of the water for a minute and keep an eye on the ball. Your job right now is to listen. Don't open your mouth every single time you want to make a remark. Just listen. That is the biggest thing for you right now. Once you can hear out your partner without reservation and honesty, communicate what your wants, needs, and feelings are, then you'll be able to escape this without a lot of drama going on. All right, let's go into little Capricorn. What's up, Capricorn? Capricorn. Work, and more work is on the schedule when this Mercury hits. You're not being assigned more work. However, you're dealing with the loads of busy work that's been really piling up in your past. So you really got to, instead of sweeping it to the side, bring it up to your table, start catching up on all that past work that you have. Life at home is going to feel totally unorganized right now, and that's okay. But how do you survive it? The best time is to really look at your schedule, look what you're doing, take better care of yourself, and tidy up a lot. Tidy up a lot. Don't be a hoarder. Tidy is what you want to do. Less stressful, more productive lifestyle. That is for you. Now let's drop into a little Aquarius. What's up, Aquarius? So as far as the Mercury retrograde goes, this one isn't so bad. I mean, what you're used to seeing in most retrogrades for Aquarius, you know, you guys, right now you're really going to be sparking a lot of passion. So anything that might be fizzling out might be sparking something new. So now's your chance to reconnect with old jobs, old projects, old hobbies, anything that you used to love. Start bringing it back into your life. It's going to be worth it for sure. Also, this is your chance to really spark up any old relationships, as I mentioned here in the beginning, and discover that those relationships that are not worth saving, get rid of them and start moving on to the next best thing. So let's drop into a little Pisces. Pisces, life at home is going to be a little wild. So you're dealing with, you know, appliance or two breaking down at home. That's totally cool. But if you can't get it fixed, don't go buy a new one right now. You know, wait before, you know, the retrograde's finally over and then maybe make a decision on purchases. Again, another water sign. Be careful in your spending. This is also a tough one for moving and making sure that you triple check everything on the fine print. Don't go buy a brand new car until you check that contract or you're moving to a new place. Check your lease and whatnot. Make sure that you absolutely look at everything. If you really need that new coffee pot or you have to move, this retrograde is going to be a wonky, you know, for you, but don't let it stop you. Do what you got to do. Just be very, very cautious and all that. And make sure you read all the fine print on everything, including return policies and your new lease and so on. So that is that. All right. So we're going to just go right now into the do's and don'ts. And then just made them short and clear. Don't initiate. Do finish what you've started. And again, you know, I can go here and read everything about this system right here. But in short, don't initiate anything, but do finish everything that you've started. That should be plain and clear for all of you out there. We really don't want to make sure that we are causing chaos or action. We want to be on the back end of everything right now. The next thing here is, don't purchase big ticket items, but do comparison shopping. So, you know this. I mean, this is a easy, you know, a easy, direct and to the point. Repairs are totally fine on existing equipment, but don't go buy anything new. I mean, you really don't need that item right now, especially even for work. Work with what you've got right now. All right. Here we go. Here's another one. Don't sign contracts, make verbal agreements or life-altering decisions. Do renegotiate mediate and reconsider existing one. This is a calling for me, you know, even for me with contracts that we have out for customers. Right now, we should look at everything that's going on with my contracts and my customers and make some renegotiations. You know, there's a few that I need to bump up a little that I haven't in the last couple of years, mediate a few and reconsider some that probably are not good for fit for our company. So good idea to look at that and renegotiate that, especially if you got your leases coming up. Look at a renegotiation, call them up and be like, hey, let's talk about it. But don't sign on anything just yet. Now, I'm going to read this one for you guys. If you're considering asking for a raise, use this cycle to recognize what's worth, but also reevaluate whether you or not are ready for offering your best to the company to work for. So don't just say, hey, I need the money when you can't commit any further. And you should look at that and think about that thoroughly. So if you're not, probably not the time to do that. Maybe another time is best. What about your relationships, right? If you want to break up with your lover, even if your mind is made up, you'll probably want to wait because of the drama and chaos of this retrograde. Life-altering decisions are always made when Mercury retrograde is in the waffling effect. So wait till that is over. Don't hide under a rock or stop living. Do expect that delay and snafu. I do that all the time. Mercury retrograde, I go, I want to get moving on my stuff and my projects. And then my business partner always tells me, back it up, slow down. Let's play the waiting game. Don't be tripping. But also don't hide under the rock. Just what I suggest in all of these is a lot of preparation. Once the retrograde's over, then move forward with everything. And that's really vital to make sure that everything is, you know, dot the I's, you know, slash the T's, all that good stuff. So again, going back to that again, let's go back to this screen here. All right, guys, so basically, I just wanted to kind of throw all of that at you. In short, Mercury retrograde cycles are not meant to be the source of endless aggravation. However, if you're going to be going against the flow of the cycle, you're likely to experience more stress. You don't need more stress in your life. You want to be stress-free. Take a pause every now and then and allow yourself to gain new perspective and realize what you might have missed in the past. That's fine, right? We retrospect on things in the past. But now it's a time to look at that and fix anything that was in your past and make it stronger. Why? Because you can thank Mercury retrograde for that pause button of slowing you down for a second. I mean, look at this past year, right? It was like one, you know, long Mercury retrograde. We slowed the entire planet down, and now we're coming out stronger and better. So do the same thing with the next couple of weeks and make sure that you stay safe, protected, and always positive, and keep this in a positive note. This is not to scare you. This is to help you. All right, guys, I'm Israel Galindo from Evolve, and I will talk to you on the next run.